instructed you. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Sama naachiliwa.
Uko kwa list ya Sami wasa wanakujia.
Mweke kando yako na ufanye kile anataka hadi tupate opportunity ya kurun hizi vitu kwa wazee watatu.
When you get things done, I get money. When I get money, I'm happy. Right now, I'm not happy because I don't have money.
How sure you plan yako itawaka?
When things go south, Marvin, we have to get ready to roll in the dust.
Did you say hakuna watoto?
Did you know crop insurance protects farmers from losses caused by unexpected events like extreme weather, floods, pests, diseases, drought, and fire? It also covers uncertainties in crop yields due to weather-related and natural disasters. It covers crops such as wheat, sugarcane, rice, maize, barley, and tomatoes. Now you know. Read and understand the terms and conditions of your policy. This message is brought to you by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA. IRA, Bima Bora kwa Taifa.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for Lunchtime News on KBC Channel 1. And we are live from the Broadcasting House in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. My name is Giverson Maina. Our sign language interpreter is Lucy Maura. Join us for the next 1 hour or so for news within, of course, across the country, including sports. And, of course, start interacting with our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. And mine is at Giverson Maina. And straight away, I want to take you to Kisumu County, where the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has been leading efforts to recover a multi-billion prime land in Kisumu County CBD. And the 6.6-acre parcel of land was once belonged to the Kenya prisons, and then it was grabbed by an assistant minister before being subdivided and sold to unsuspecting Kenyans. And the new owners have since built a high-rise, a high-end residential estate. And here is the remarks by the EACC CEO Abdi Mohamud. Listen in.
Documents of ownership which they claim to own this particular property. Also behind us is that piece of land which is developed that has about 92 parcels of land, most of it developed, but some undeveloped. The value of the land, excluding the development, is valued at about 790 million Kenyan shillings, 790 million. But when you include the developed part, the value comes to about 4.3 billion Kenyan shillings. Now, there is a good reason why the government sets aside land for public use or for institutions to use. Prisons is a very critical agency in our country. And as the Commissioner General just informed us, in most of the 47 counties, prison land has actually been encroached. And we are assisting the Kenya Prison Service to get back their land, this being one of them. I do not want to dwell on the specifics of the case because now the case is before court. But just to urge those who have documents for this undeveloped part of the land, that the most reasonable thing for them to do is to hand back those documents back to the commission and surrender the parcels back to the government, because it will not be available for their use. That I can assure you.
Now from Kisumu, we cross over to Kibra Law Courts here in Nairobi, where there has been an ongoing murder case of Robert Ojwang. And of course, there has been a trial and witnesses making testimonies before the Kibra, inside the Kibra Law Courts. Our reporter Ruth Wambui now joins us live. Ruth, if you can hear me, what has transpired in court right now?
Giverson, Maina, thank you so much from studio. We are coming to you live from Kibera High Court, whereby the case of teacher cum blogger Albert Ojwang, who died last year in June, on 8th of June, at the Central Police Station in Nairobi, officially started or kicked off yesterday here at Kibera Law Court. And according to the prosecution, the two have been in custody. They opposed their release on bond, owing to the witness that they want to start with, who have the magnitude in this case. Those are protected witness, and yesterday we saw two witnesses take to the witness box. And the second one, who was yesterday continuing with the testimony of what transpired during the fateful night, is continuing today with the re-examination in chief. Today in the morning session, we saw CCTV, we saw her, who has been referred to, the protected witness has been referred to in this trial as AAA. Today she continued explaining the CCTV footage that was extracted at Central Police Station and retrieved after the alleged original footage was arrested after the incident that left Albert Ojwang dead. In the morning, we saw he was explaining and unmasking the identity of the alleged culprits in this murder trial. And in the afternoon, we are going to see her explain other footages, which one shows the exact place that the cell that Albert Ojwang died, how the whole thing was tried to be concealed through washing the bloody area, and also the people that took Albert Ojwang away after the death on that night. So in the afternoon is where we are going to see more of these unfoldings of what transpired during the night of 8th June 2025. Back to you, Studio Giverson. Will continue updating our viewers in our subsequent bulletin.
Thank you, Ruth Wambui, a reporter camping at Kibra Law Courts and talking the murder case of Albert Ojwang. And of course, we keep an eye on that to bring you detailed report in our subsequent bulletins. Now, from that, the government development partners, members of the diplomatic corps and academic have pledged to utilize research integrating indigenous knowledge in tackling challenges in Africa through climate-resilient agriculture, accessible healthcare, and digital infrastructure for economic growth, among others. Now, during a roundtable ahead of the African Technology Leadership Conference of 2026, which brought together global leaders, policymakers, and investors to discuss the acceleration of Africa's digital future. Now, Kenya will host the forum between October 22nd to 23rd. Take a look.
We are appealing to the private sector, to the government, to our diplomatic community to help us come together so that we can be able to form this bioeconomy institute.
So this conference it provides a platform where African researchers and academia are coming together to dialogue about who owns the capital investments in our patents, in our research work, and how are these patents and research work commercialized to advance economic growth.
On tech diplomacy, exactly what is the discussion that you are having today, and he was very active in promoting the AI hub for sustainable development in Rome, which is open to African startups. Many are from Kenya.
The ATL 2026 gives us an opportunity to bring together those who govern, those who do research, those who innovate, and those who finance, and those who implement. It gives us an opportunity to align science with diplomacy.
Now let's cross over to Nakuru County, where police in Rongai have impounded more than 990 litres of suspected ethanol, 29 rounds of 9mm ammunition and Kenya Revenue Authority stickers during a raid at a mansion in Kiamunyi Estate. A suspect believed to be the owner of the house was also arrested during the operation. Now, Rongai Sub-County Police Commander Daniel Birich said officers acted on intelligence that the residence was a restricted area where neighbors were not allowed access. He said police are investigating the source and intended use of the recovered items. Birich said the suspect will be arraigned in court upon completion of investigations.
We recover 30 litres packed in 33-litre packed in black, suspected to be ethanol, which comes to 990 litres. Assorted packing bottles of 250 mils empty. We have also stickers of the following brands. One is a Best Jean sticker, photo stickers, magic stickers. Also we have a roll of KRA sticker, which we suspected that the suspect is using to deceive the lovers of this particular drink, and a magazine of a mine Seska pistol with 29 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Body hammer that is bulletproof, which I can show you from the same house. One suspect by the name Geoffrey Mureithi Kerinya, the owner of the house, and we highly suspect is the owner of these assorted items that we have netted. And we have arrested. We'll take to court as soon as possible. And for now, he's assisting the police officers to get more information.
Now from Nakuru, we take you to Embu County, where a leadership dispute has erupted within the Embu Juakali Association after a section of members announced plans to hold another election just days after the current officials were elected just 2 weeks ago. Now, the development has created uncertainty within the association, with the newly elected leadership dismissing the planned exercise as illegal and urging members to ignore it. Association chairperson Rolling Stone Njuke maintains that officials elected during the July 9th polls are the only legitimate office bearers and should be allowed to serve their constitutional term. Njuke has called on Juakali traders to disregard individuals mobilizing for another election, saying the association cannot have two parallel leaderships.
Mimi ningetaka kuambia members wasikuwe na wasiwasi. Mlifanya jambo liko ndani ya katiba ya uchaguzi na mkachaguana, na mwenye mlichagua si muoga. Mimi nawangojea tu, na pia tunasema hivi, wale watu wote watahusika kwenda katika hiyo uchaguzi hawatakanyanga katika hii kiwanja. Hiyo ndio sheria tuliweka.
Hii uchaguzi ilikuwa halali. Hii uchaguzi ilikuwa imefunguliwa kwa kila mtu alikuwa amepewa nafasi ya kusimama, na wengine hawakuweza kusimama, na wengine wao waliweza kusimama na hawakuweza kupita, na ndio sasa wanaungana pamoja waseme ya kwamba kesho wako na uchaguzi ingine. Hatutakubali kuona mtu atakuja kutuletea vita na furugu katika Juakali, kwa sababu Juakali already tumekubali tuko na uongozi, hatuwezi kuwa na viongozi wawili kwa wakati moja.
Now, a dispute has emerged between a children's home in Muthaiga North and a private developer over the proposed construction of a petrol station adjacent to the institution. Now, the Mogre Children's Home, which accommodates more than 1,000 vulnerable children, says the project possesses various or rather serious health, safety and environmental risk. The management says it was neither notified nor involved in any public participation before construction of the proposed petrol station, which began, near the boys' dormitory. Now, the children's home argues the project could expose learners to fuel fumes, increase the risk of fire and explosions, and compromise the safety of the institution.
These homes host boys and girls of all ages from our country. Initially, what is transpiring, we are raising an objection of proposed development of a petrol station adjacent to our children's center, of which our complaint we are talking about the fire and explosion risk from nearby fuel storage and handling of flammable fuels. We also fear the potential inhalation of petrol vapors, VOCs, that's VOCs and vehicle emission, which particularly affect the children and those with respiratory vulnerabilities. But we need the project to stop immediately until there is a consensus, and also considering the environmental challenges that are coming along with building of a petrol station.
And now let's go to Kilifi County, where Malindi Deputy County Commissioner Harrison Matevwa has urged residents to remain vigilant against unscrupulous religious organizations, warning that such groups can serve as conduits for terrorism and even violent extremism. Now, during a community engagement forum organized by the National Counter-Terrorism Center at Shakahola Dispensary in Chakama location, Matevwa called for heightened surveillance and reporting of suspicious activities to prevent future tragedies. He stressed the importance of community policing, urging village elders and Nyumba Kumi ambassadors to remain alert.
Ni vizuri kukuwa makini. Ni vizuri kukuwa makini, especially mambo ya kidini. Sababu tunajua kwamba dini inaweza kujenga na pia inaweza potosha kama haifuati ile mikakati ambayo inafaa. Ukipata dini ambayo inafundisha watu mambo ambayo hayaambatani na kijamii ama mambo ya kupotosha, ni hatari.
Na akili zetu tukipanda itikadi nzuri zitakuwa na mafikra mazuri, lakini tukiweka itikadi potofu, basi hata sisi tutapotoka, tuwe watu ambao ni hafifu.
From Kilifi to the neighboring county of Lamu. Despite the significant decline in terrorism incidents in Lamu County, stakeholders are calling for continued sensitization and mentorship programs to prevent young people from being recruited into violent extremist groups. But the call comes amid concerns that the period leading up to the 2027 general election could expose vulnerable youth to radicalization and political violence, as cases of extremism historically increased during the heightened political activity. Now, speaking during a stakeholders meeting at Mpeketoni, Lamu County, youth outreach group and community leaders emphasized the need for sustained mentorship programs to equip young people with life skills, promote peaceful coexistence, and build resilience against extremist ideologies.
Wako at risk ya kuhusika ama ya kuhusishwa na masuala ya kigaidi.
Tuhamasishe vijana wetu waache kutumiwa vibaya, kwa sababu leo watatutumia hivyo, kesho wale wanataka uongozi huo na kututumia vibaya, kesho tukiwahitaji hata simu zetu hawatuchukui, hawatutambui tena sisi kina nani.
Mara nyingi vijana huwa hawana shughuli ya kufanya, sasa wanaonelea wajiunge katika mambo ya ugaidi, lakini through the mentorship program inaweza kuonyesha kijana kwamba kuna kitu inaitwa hope. Badala ya kujiunga na ugaidi, unaweza kujishughulisha na kitu fulani na fulani na fulani ili uweze kujiendeleza.
Now we remain at the Coast Region. Parents in Voi have lauded infrastructure development in schools within the constituency, expressing optimism that the new investments will help improve the quality of education. Now, the new infrastructure includes new classrooms and laboratories, as well as the renovation of dilapidated classrooms. Now, Voi Member of Parliament Hamisi Echome says education remains a key development priority for the constituency and that many schools are being upgraded through innovation and construction of modern learning facilities, giving students a conducive environment to learn. Now, residents have appealed for continued investment in education, expressing optimism that improved infrastructure will continue raising academic standards across Voi constituency.
Tuna ofisi ya mwalimu mkuu, tuna ofisi mbili tuna ofisi ya naibu, tuna ofisi ya yule mwalimu mwandamizi na tuna ofisi ya walimu staff room ambayo ni kubwa, ambayo ikibidi kama hii halmashauri ifanye mkutano wanaweza fanyia pale, wanaweza fanyia pia kwenye darasa, lakini mradi ambao tumefanya sio huu peke yake. Pia pale pande ya chini tumepeana leo pia vile darasa moja ambalo limejengwa kwa milioni 2, ambalo limejengwa ni darasa la kisasa, limejengwa darasa linalotosha wanafunzi, tumeweka madawati pale ndani, tumeweka pia meza ya mwalimu na kiti. Kwa hivyo tumetaka kuwapatia mazingara wanafunzi wetu ambao wanaweza pata mahali popote ambapo kuna mazingara bora katika nchi hii.
Now, Defense Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya has warned against spewing hate by politicians disguised as political sloganeering. Now, Tuya has also cautioned against the use of young people to cause political violence, saying the government will not tolerate acts that may threaten the country's stability ahead of the 2027 elections. Speaking in Bondo, Siaya County, the Defense Cabinet Secretary said the government security agents have been put on high alert to decisively bring to book anyone involved in mobilizing goons and those spewing hate under the guise of politics.
And as you said, we are focused. We are moving forward as the Ministry of Defense, working closely with the security agencies.
On his side, Orange Democratic Movement leader Oburu Oginga revealed that the Orange Democratic Party and United Democratic Alliance were harmonizing their policy framework to a single outfit ahead of 2027 elections.
We were left in the broad-based government by our late brother Raila Amolo Odinga, and we have not moved out of there. What we know is that we are not shaken by small hiccups like the election in Olkalau.
Sentiments expressed by Cooperative Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya, who maintains ODM is intact.
I have invested very heavily in this party. We have been on the streets together. I have scars here inflicted in me when I was in Maandamano. So how do I just come out of a party like that?
These are a section of leaders in the Coast region, including Mining Cabinet Secretary Hassan Joho, Kilifi County Governor Gideon Mungaro, and Abdul Somban Nasir of Mombasa, among others, condemned the travel advisory issued by DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua.
Si mshangao kwa wengine kufikiria kwamba kunena ama kutenda mambo ya kuzidi kuleta umaskini katika maeneo yetu ndio njia yao. It's their norm to sabotage our economic activities.
Within tourism, you get a taxi. Within tourism, you inspire property investors. And therefore, if somebody is urging the international community not to visit Kenya, and this is somebody who wants to lead Kenya, then we now know that he cannot be able to lead this country.
There was a time we were called that we were not shareholders, and now, on issues that happened in a very, very isolated way, you're asking that one of the major sources of income for this particular region and for the country in general to be denied, and that is an element of tourism, is a very, very saddening.
Meanwhile, Nakuru County Senator Tabitha Karanja has blamed UDA laws in the Olkalau by-election on a small circle around President William Ruto.
They shamelessly opted to ferry goons from far and wide that caused injuries and deaths to the very people they were supposed to persuade.
In Kericho County, women lawmakers allied to the broad-based government, including Kericho MP Beatrice Kemei, Teso South MP Mary Emase, and Marian Kitani of Aldai, backed President William Ruto's re-election bid.
Sasa hii mtu anaitwa Gachagua, mimi nauliza, saa ile umeshinda kura, kelele. We are behind William Ruto. In the rift, in all parts of this country. So 90%, and be ready, 2027, William Ruto will get over 70% votes. It is not 50 plus 1. It is 70%. Wapi wanasema 70%? Nimeongoja sana Mheshimiwa Gachagua aweze kutoa press akishukuru Erastus Ethekon kwa kusimamia uchaguzi huru. Hiyo inaonyesha kuwa uchaguzi yenyewe kwa mbele yetu ni uchaguzi huru na kila mtu atapewa namba zake.
Elsewhere, boda operators in Trans Nzoia County condemned Saturday's violence during an empowerment drive attended by Senator Alan Chesang and cooperative CS with Clifford Paranya.
Na hapa tena tunasema ni two term. Tunasoma na mabodaboda ya upendo. Hata sasa mtu mwenye yako kwa mashinani chini, mwenye anavuka manguru anapata hii pesa.
And on that note, we take a short commercial break. Don't go too far. There's still so much more lined up for you.
There's only one path here. Fomalhaut's cell is on the mountainside. I wonder if Tai Wei has retrieved the fruit.
General Meng, this is a letter from the Mirror Village. Read it.
The wait is over. KBC Iko Huduma Center. Starting with Nairobi, kupata huduma za KBC imekuwa rahisi. From digital guidance and signet services to booking of commercial adverts and documentaries. Visit our dedicated desks at Huduma Center GPO, Times Square, Makadara, Kibera, or Eastleigh. Tunakungoja hapo. Whether it's a casual announcement or a specialized media solution for your business, we are here to serve you. KBC at Huduma Centers. Moving closer to you. Your station, your service.
And welcome back. You're watching Lunchtime News on KBC Channel 1. And our teachers have loaded the competency-based education curriculum for fostering creativity among students and aiding them in understanding potential career paths from a young age. Now speaking in Nairobi County, the educators emphasized the importance of parental involvement in guiding their children through career exploration and decision-making. Now, they also encourage parents to actively engage in their children's education to help them make informed career choices. Take a look.
Because he or she doesn't have a parents. Welcome. Good morning.
We are trying to build our learners so that in future they are able to choose the best careers, that they maybe have the talents, especially building their confidence and developing competencies in the careers that they will love to choose in future.
Now, Kisumu tuk-tuk operators have been challenged to replicate in next year's general elections the encouraging turnout during the association's elections held last week. Now, the operators held routine elections for 17 office bearers who have been mandated by members to steer the association for the next 5 years. Now, the exercises saw a turnout of 53% in what the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IBC, termed encouraging. The new office holders were further challenged to prioritize working closely with security agencies in addressing the insecurity wave that has recently been experienced in the lakeside city.
Another aspect of turning out to do what? To go and vote. That is
counting votes for chairman, it was really hectic, indicating that that seat was really full of pressure. But I thank God for the security who enabled us, protected us.
The main agenda that I'm going to deliver is to put them in one voice.
And let's head to Kajiado County, where the Catholic Church and education stakeholders in Kajiado County have called on learning institutions to strengthen religious and moral formation among students to restore discipline and values in schools. Now, during a walk organized by members of the Young Christian Students Movement in Kajiado, the leaders linked the rising cases of hooliganism, indiscipline and drug abuse among young people to the erosion of religious values in society. Now, they emphasized the need for the lives of children and youth to be inspired by strong faith-based guidance.
Tunapowaelekeza katika maishani mwao, wanabadilisha kuwa watu wabaya, wanakuwa watu wazuri. Hasa wale ambao wanavuta bangi, tunakuwa formed wakuwa watu wazuri. Wale ambao wanakuwa wezi, wakuwe formed wakuwa watu wazuri. Wale ambao wanaleta shida mashule, kama siku hizi tunaona kwamba wengi wao wanafikiri wakisoma shule masomo yanaisha na maisha yanakuwa rahisi. Lakini si hivyo. Tunapoongea na hao kama baba na mama kiroho, wanapenduka, wanakuwa watu wazuri.
Wazazi wengi hata wao wameacha mambo ya kufuata Mungu, wanatafuta shilingi. So in the process unapata ya kwamba watoto wameterekeswa, watoto wanakaa upweke na wanaanza kukimbizana mambo ya dunia.
Leo katika imani ndio maana tunapata kwamba hata viongozi wetu wanapotoka kimaadili, kwa sababu hawa vijana ambao tuko na wao wakati huu ndio watakao kuwa viongozi wa baadaye. Hivyo basi ni vizuri tuanze kuwalea kimaadili.
Now from Kajiado to Kiambu County. And now for years, residents and traders in Kirigiti, Kiambu County, have grappled with blocked drainage systems, overflowing sewer lines and persistent flooding whenever it rained. Now, however, the situation is changing following the construction of permanent drainage channels across the Kirigiti Business Center by the Kiambu County government. Now, Governor Kimani Wamatangi says the county government is solarizing its public water boreholes to cut water production costs and eliminate disruptions caused by electricity disconnections over unpaid bills. He was speaking during the distribution of water pipes for the Maji Nyumbani initiative last mile water connectivity program.
But that's now why we were in that momentum. Kwanza tulianza kuchimba, now solarization. Tafadhalini, to help the water companies survive, hakikisheni ya kwamba you have a discussion around ensuring that all power other than the heavy machinery moving power is solarized.
And the governor is flagging off pipes that are going to serve more than 53,000 residents of Kiambu. This is a portion of the total of 132 that we are also going to do this year. These pipes are for last year, financial year, and they are also going to be distributed to various water companies in Kiambu.
Now it's time for business. Cooperative Bank has been named Kenya's best retail bank and best digital bank at the 2026 Euro Money Awards for Excellence, highlighting a growing competition among leaders to deliver faster and more convenient financial services. The 2026 Euro Money Awards, presented in London, celebrate institutions that demonstrate strong performance, innovation and customer service. Cooperative Bank Group Chief Executive Gideon Murioki says the recognition reflects the bank's strategy of combining traditional relationship banking with technology-driven solutions. He says over 90% of the bank's transactions are now conducted through digital and alternative channels. Now, the government is targeting to triple coffee production to 150,000 metric tons annually by the year 2030 as part of efforts to increase farmers' incomes. Now, Cooperatives and SMEs Development Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya says adoption of modern farming technologies and improved extension services will support the productivity. Now, speaking during the Western Kenya Coffee Stakeholders Forum at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, Oparanya said the government has invested over 8 billion shillings in the coffee subsector to support production. Here's more.
100,000 metric tons. Ethiopia is on 800 metric tons. And as we do so, we want to embrace the young people to come in this particular sector.
Area hii wakulima wameenda kwa ukulima wa kahawa wengi sana, na tunawahitaji wengi ili tuweze kurealize ile target yenu ile mnataka by next year tuwe tumefikia.
Now let's take you to Siaya County for a moment, where construction of the Raila Odinga Mausoleum at Kango Ka Jaramogi in Siaya County is set to begin, marking a significant step in the efforts to preserve the legacy of the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Now, the site was officially handed over by the family to the government in a ceremony attended by Defence Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya. Kenya Defence Forces will undertake the construction, which is expected to be completed in 2 months.
It is really a reminder that for the love of our fallen hero, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, I want to encourage Kenyans to be of one purpose, to be unified from all corners of this country. We can disagree without causing havoc and violence across the country.
To Kenya's young people, I say this. You do not have to know Raila personally to inherit the democratic space he helped to create. Use that space responsibly, participate, question leaders, defend the Constitution, reject ethnic hatred and political violence.
Now we head to Tana River County, where residents of Chwele and Salawads in Tana River are set to begin, or rather to benefit from access to clean water following the completion of 2 other-field dams worth nearly 190 million shillings. Now, the dams are a major government investment aimed at transforming livelihoods in the region that often faces drought, forcing residents to trek for kilometers in search of a precious commodity. No, the Midi and Haramberesa, or the Hambaresa, are the field dams constructed under the Drought Mitigation and Flood Control Program through the Coast Development Authority. Each have a storage capacity of 100,000 cubic meters. They're expected to significantly improve access to water, enhance food security, strengthen climate resilience, and support sustainable livestock production. A total of 3,349 households are set to benefit from the 2 dams.
Na ninyi pia mshike kashamba kidogo. Sio lazima kila wakati ufikirie mambo ya mifugo. Mimi najua ninyi ni wafugaji, lakini pia fikiria kitu ingine.
Ni miradi miwili ambayo imekamilika, yote iko na capacity ya 100,000 cubic meters, na kila mmoja umegharimu zaidi ya milioni 90.
They say they always move long distance, even forced to even get kids out of school, because they can't leave kids behind where there's no water. Sometimes they even have to, to get into conflict, trying to access water and pasture for their livestock.
Now listen to this. President William Ruto has directed the National Police Service to crack down on all criminal gangs and goons terrorizing Kenyans in political meetings. The head of state says the country cannot afford to allow the continued state of anarchy, warning that the current trend is a recipe for national destabilization. Now speaking while receiving the report developing a new vision for Kenya towards a first world nation, the president says Kenya must confront the gangs head-on as a means of protecting constitutional gains and the property of Kenyans.
I have been following the debate. You know, we had the demonstrations, democratic, constitutional, legal. But we also have criminals and thugs and characters who destroy people's property, steal from people, burn down buildings. And you know, we are unable to make a decision. You know, you find people who've come to town, they've destroyed, burned down shops, destroyed people's property. And you know, the conversation is, please, you know, these are our children. You know, these are our children, so we must listen to them, which is okay. They now go to political rallies, and then we have goons. And then I don't know whether we want to say again, these are our children, the goons. So, you know, we really need to have a candid conversation about criminality, the rule of law, security of our nation. It cannot be the case. There cannot be any defense for criminality.
Now we cross over to Garissa County now, where boda operators in Garissa County have elected a new leadership for the first time in more than a decade, a move expected to strengthen representation, improve welfare and address the challenges facing riders. Now newly elected boda Association Chairperson Bed Musili pledged to champion riders' welfare, defend their rights and strengthen collaboration with security agencies. He pledged to work with security agencies to identify criminal elements masquerading as operators while improving the sector's image.
So uchunguzi wa leo nimeona wa maana kwa sababu kuna mtu tutamweka, ile shida kitupata kuna tunaenda tunaweza kumuona. Kwa nini? Tutamuelezea shida yetu. Na saa hii tunapomchangua tuna matarajio atatuletea mabadiliko kwa ile kazi yetu tunafanya na ile mashida tunayopitia.
Leo tumeamua kufanya election ya wazi. Election ambayo ni ya kila mtu ambao atapendelea. Si election ya mlango wa nyuma. Nafikiri mnaona kila kitu yote imepangwa mzuri. Hakuna kitu ambao imeenda komo.
Boda riders wanaenda kuchukua wadhifa. Wakisema leo tumejichagulia kiongozi sisi wenyewe. Na kuanzia hapo sasa waanze mikakati kulingana na vile inafaa. Wapate viongozi wenyewe wamejichagulia wenyewe.
Now let's head to Murang'a County, where residents of Kihumwere have turned a new corner following the return of landowners who fled during the height of conflict after the government launched a fresh drive to resolve the long-standing land ownership crisis. Now, Lands Cabinet Secretary Liz Wahome recently issued 750 title deeds and ordered a 90-day verification exercise to authenticate ownership records before more title deeds are issued. Kihumwere Land Buying Company Director Josephat Thiongo says the verification exercise is progressing smoothly and is expected to be completed by the end of August. The exercise will pave way for the processing of thousands of remaining title deeds for legitimate landowners.
Ile shinda zote zimekuwa hapa, hasa mauaji ambayo imetokea hapa. Mimi nimeshuhudia watu wakilala nje kwa sababu ya kupigwa na mapolisi, na wengine hata walitoroka wakatoka hapa Kihumwere wakaenda kwingine. Tunashukuru sana CSR Swahome kwa kazi ambayo wamefanya. Saa hii kuna amani, hakuna mambo ya kuuana, hata hakuna ati kuulizana nini. Sisi tunangojea tumalizie process hii, watu waanze kudevelop.
And now let's get sporty. Now, the FIFA Elite Member Association referee course has officially commenced at Kasarani Stadium, bringing together 36 top-tier match officials, including 12 female referees. Now, organized by the Football Kenya Federation, FKF, in partnership with FIFA instructors, this 5-day residential training program aims to elevate refereeing standards ahead of the upcoming Football Kenya Federation FKF Premier League season. It further seeks to empower local match officials with the tactical decision-making, match control and technical skills necessary for elite and local international duties.
To take this opportunity again to thank the Federation for investing in the referees, because this is an international course that is bringing the referees to abreast in terms of the new changes of the law and the laws that are being applied, that were applied in the just concluded World Cup.
Thank FIFA for considering us. There are so many countries which they are not doing MA course, but we are lucky as a country, as Kenya. So we are really proud of FIFA.
And our Oka Swimming Club was named the Club of the Year during the Kiambu Aquatics Awards Gala, which was held in Runda, Nairobi. The club's head coach, Sila Kennedy, was awarded the Coach of the Year accolade after guiding the club to an outstanding season. Take a look.
Oka Swimming Club emerged as the biggest winner at the Kiambu Swimming Awards after being crowned Team of the Year, capping off an outstanding season marked by consistent performances across local and national competitions. Miles Baraka of Genesis Sports was named Best Swimmer in the boys 10 to 11 years. In the girls 10 to 11 years category, Kendi Mwiti of Oka Swimming Club claimed top honors following a series of outstanding performances.
Despite of the challenges we've had in this industry, we've won in boys category, we've won in girls category.
Meanwhile, Visa Dolphins received the second runners-up trophy for the 18 and over and 16 to 17 age groups for the 2025-2026 season. This is after Sudais Bashir was honored in the 16 to 17 years category, while Jafeth Onkoba was honored in the 18 and over category.
To say it was actually a success. Majorly because the turnout was really good. Today we have actually had more than 200 attendees who are celebrating the achievement of our athletes.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
Now, two Kenyans are celebrating life-changing fortunes after emerging as the latest mega jackpot bonus winners, walking away with a combined 11 million shillings. Now, Joseph Sambu pocketed 6 million shillings, while Charles Gedhae received 5 million after correctly predicting multiple football match outcomes. Now, Sambu, who received 6 million shillings, described the win as life-changing, saying he plans to invest in businesses that will generate a steady income while also supporting his family. Gedhae, the 5 million shilling winner, echoed similar sentiments, noting that the prize money presents an opportunity to build a sustainable future through entrepreneurship rather than extravagant spending.
At least venye hii pesa imekuja, priority kwanza naweka a new business yenye si ati ni business yenye naanza kufikiria saa hizi. Ni kitu yenye nimekuwa nayo kwa akili, lakini nilikuwa nakosa tu pesa ya kuimplement.
Wa kwanza kuambia, niliambia wife, nilifurahi sana. Itanisaidia kwa maendeleo zangu na pia kwa kazi yangu itanisaidia.
Congratulations to the duo. Can someone give them my number? Now, Bushiri Queens qualified for the Safaricom Chapa Dimba Kakamega County finals after producing a dominant display in the inter-sub-county qualifiers played over the weekend. The side booked their place in the county finals with an emphatic 5-0 victory over Mukwa Starlets before edging Mwira Queens 1-0 in the decisive fixture to emerge as the qualifying team from their zone. Elsewhere in the Mukumu qualifiers, the Phoenix Mukumu also secured a place in the county finals following 2 impressive victories. The team began their campaign with a commanding 6-0 win over Blue Santos Queens before defeating Lihemba Girls 2-1 to seal qualification. In the men's results, Holy Cross Injira Senior School qualified after claiming a 4-0 win over Kwarula Youngsters Academy.
Federation tulikuwa tunanyima vijana wadogo mpira, lakini hii Chapadimba imetupatia kitu fulani. Tumeamua kama mimi sasa, kama hapa secretary Mumias West, hata nimeanzisha already, nimecheza weekend moja under 13, under 15, under 17.
Nachikagamua na timu yangu, nataka lazima nifike finali nione mazuri ya Chapadimba. Timu yenye wachezaji niko nao ni wale tu wenye nimeanza nao chini, bado sijapika reinforcement bado.
And now that's where we end our lunchtime news on KBC Channel 1 here at the Broadcasting House. My name is Giverson Maina. Our sign language interpreter is Lucy Mwaura. Until next time, it's bye-bye for now.
Dignity.